Commish Radio Show. Make sure y'all come check my man out.
All right, Ed Gray, the Commish Radio Show. We're going to spend the rest of the day just vibing. This is what I call a slow vibe. So, as you know, we are now expanding our reach throughout social media, and we have a YouTube channel. We have 3 YouTube channels, come to think about it. So I want you to go ahead and look up Ed Gray, the YouTube channel Ed Gray. Just look that one up and check that one out. This morning I downloaded several of the short versions. I don't want to go ahead and just put speeches out there. I just want to go ahead and give YouTube listeners and viewers just a short look of what's going on with the Commish Radio Show. Example, we had a speech with Reverend Al Sharpton was talking about funerals. We had that one out. And then, of course, we have the drops that Strip does so wonderfully. Next year, I'm anticipating that Strip will probably become world famous with those drops. It's about 7, 8 drops. Have you been on the YouTube channel and take a look at it?
Yes, I have the Commish Radio Show YouTube.
Yeah, you have?
Yeah,
No?
I've seen the videos. Well, the ones I'm tagged in.
Okay.
Yeah.
You looking under the Commish Radio. That's the old one. Just look under Ed Gray. So that one is the one. There's 2 Commish radios. It's the Commish Radio, and then it's Ed Gray. Look for Ed Gray. And Ed Gray, that's the one I want you guys to take a look at. I had posted yesterday as well Pastor Haynes' protesters' prayer. And the story behind that was, you remember a couple of weeks back when the protest was at Jerry's Well at the AT&T Stadium? Well, there were no reporters that were there covering the organization of it. Lee Merritt was there. He was doing a talk, and also you had Ernest Walker was walking around with his bat in his hand and everything. The Black Batman, he was walking around with that. And then you had Pastor Freddie Haynes. He was Reverend Haynes was there, and he did his prayer. So I had an opportunity to be pretty close to Freddie Haynes, Pastor Haynes. So I decided to go behind the stage, if you will, and capture the moment from behind the stage. And you're able now to take a look at Pastor Haynes as he's giving the protesters prayer, and also see the faces of the people that were praying. So that's listed there. We also had the opportunity to partner with the Dallas African American Museum, and they have the Monticello exhibit. I want everyone to go take a look at the Monticello exhibit. It broke all of the records this past year during the Texas State Fair. You can still go see it. It is the exhibit of Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson in Dallas, so to speak. Some of his artifacts are there in South Dallas, around the corner from Two Partners Barbecue. That's right. Go pick you up a barbecue sandwich from Two Partners, and then go over to the Dallas African American Museum and check out that exhibit. It will be here from now till December 31st, and that's the last day. In February, Black History Month, the ancestors from Thomas Jefferson and Sally Hemings, the descendants, rather, shall I say, the descendants of Thomas Jefferson and Sally Hemings, they'll be back in town. And on campus at Southern Methodist University. On the campus of Southern Methodist University in February, there will be a program in which I'll be part of. I will be speaking and moderating on slavery in Texas. I'm going to drop the knowledge on slavery in Texas and talk about slavery, obviously how it existed in the state of Texas. And hey, I don't think people realize that when President Trump is talking about, he's talking about they're coming across the border in massive droves, and they're lawbreakers and they're breaking laws and everything. That's already been said and done, people. That's already been said and done. The last person who said that was the president of Mexico when people from the southern United States came across the border. They came across the border and into the province of Texas, and they came in, and guess what they was carrying? They was breaking the law and what they were doing. And the Mexican government said, you guys need to stop doing that. You're breaking the law. You're coming across and you're lawbreakers. And guess what they were doing, Strip? They were breaking the law because they were carrying slaves. It was against the law in the province of Texas for there to be slaves. So all of those people that we talk about that are heroes, and I believe it was Chuck D who once said, my heroes never appeared on stamps. Stephen F. Austin, Davy Crockett, Sam Houston. Well, Davy Crockett didn't have no slaves. He had this big rifle called Old Betsy, but Stephen F. Austin had slaves, you know. Sam Houston had slaves. William Barrett Travers had slaves. Jim Bowie, he had slaves. You know, they all had slaves and they were breaking the law. But we're not here to talk about people who are heroes in the state of Texas. But then again, my heroes never appeared on any stamps. So now I will be talking about slavery in Texas. I'll drop that. And one last nugget of knowledge I'll drop is that when we talk about the time that black people were freed in Texas, we always talk about Juneteenth. But we don't talk about September 16th. In the 1820s, black people were originally freed in the province of Texas. And it was done by the president of Mexico, who was a black man. Whoa! Wait a minute, hold on, wait a minute. What are you talking about? The president of Mexico was a black man? Yep. The second president of Mexico was a black man. And now you know. But I'll be talking about that at SMU, slavery in Texas. Speaking of SMU, and then we'll take another break, and we're going to continue to do this until the top of the hour, and then after that, we will do nothing but break and play those drops that I want you guys to listen in on the YouTube channel, Ed Gray, and then tell all your friends to listen in to it as well. Again, Ed Gray YouTube channel. And also pick up that North Dallas Gazette as I was reading earlier when I came through. Got somewhat distracted. I'm getting distracted as I look at a picture of myself on the cover of the North Dallas Gazette. I love me some me. But now, the other item I want to go ahead and talk about is the 10,000 viewers that viewed my interview with the Nazi war hunters. The Nazi, they sought out the Nazis, the Nazi hunters. Serge and Beata Clarksville. I interviewed them on campus, Serge and Beata Clarksville. I interviewed them on campus at SMU this past week on Thursday. It was greatly received. I had the opportunity to talk and meet with the president of the university, Dr. Gerald Turner, President Turner. I spoke with him and we spoke somewhat at length regarding the present day situations in these United States of America. But the heroes of that evening were the Clarksvilles. And in that opportunity, I had the opportunity to bring forth, as I've said many times before, the Commish radio show went international that day as well because that was viewed in Europe. So we went from SMU's campus to people now in Europe and Germany that was looking at the interview. So I would like for you to go ahead and look on the Ed Gray page and look at the interview again. That being said, that pretty much concludes this 30-minute segment of the Commish radio show. We're gonna play some drops and we'll come right back. Thank you.
Freddie Haynes, I listen to the Commish show on the Fishbowl for my social activism information so I can be a better agitator.
That concludes